Hello, this short recording will be on value stream mapping. So the content of the recording will be what is a value stream map and why use a value stream map. So what is a value stream map? On the left we have a definition of a value stream map or mapping. A team-based methodology for analysing the current state and designing a future state for a series of events that take product or service from its beginning through to the customer. So it sets out the different processes that need to be undertaken to take, in manufacturing terms, a product all the way through to completion. So when the order comes in to when it gets to the customer. In the construction industry, we do the same approach. We get a project design, or we design a project and we bring it, we deliver the drawings, work specification, contract documents, and then it goes on to the next phase to actually implement or construct that project. So each one of them has a process and a step that adds value. So do a value stream map on an overall whole project would probably be too big in my views. So what you could do down is you break it down into maybe work process or work breakdown structures. So if you have a repeatable part of a works on a project, so it might be installing manholes, it might be concrete slabs or vertical reinforced concrete walls. Could be quite a lot of them. Could be put piling foundations. But you maybe have a number of them within your program. You could do a value stream map of what is the current state. How do we plan to do this? Or how have we just done it? And then say, well, look at, is there an easier, faster way that we can do this? And can we reduce some of the processes or reduce the time in between each steps? So that's what really, and it's a map. So it's a visual management. So you map it up on a whiteboard and it's a team-based methodology. So basically you have the people that's going to do the work, or who actually can make decisions about the work, actually feeding in, saying, no, you don't do that, or this was normally happens on site. We get the steel, but the steel is in the wrong place. Then we have to go back and get the dowel bars, or whatever the example is. But you have that knowledge, and you're gathering that knowledge on the current process. And then the view is that you're trying to, if you don't see what actually what you're currently doing, then you won't be fit to highlight potential waste in the system or in that process to complete that task. And therefore, if you don't know there's waste in it and you can't see it, you're very limited on how you make any attempts to reduce that waste. So this slide talks about back to our lead time versus process time. So just down at the bottom is a number of different lead time can be explained by throughput time, turnaround time, and there's a couple of different description of it, but generally lead time is what we use in the construction industry. Process time, work done, is touch time, work time, or cycle time. So work time, the amount of actually work you spend doing that exact activity. That's what we're looking at. So, and what we're trying to do by the value stream map is look at our lead time as we have here. So an example of it. So we have the task coming in, which may be off a construction program. We have information flow. So what information do we have? Got the order. Then we have a workflow. So the different tasks, they could be on a program. There could be a line going construct slabs, and there could be a whole range of different slabs underneath that. A similar type or slightly different, but how do we go about doing each of them slabs? And that's your workflow. And then as part of your program, you'll also have a timeline linked to that. So is how you break that up. So you have a time for doing the work, but actually how long does it take you to process that? So we can see down here it has 1 day for process one, but actually takes only 10 minutes as part of that processing time, but the lead time is 1 day, and that adds up, so you can have your ratio here. And that's just what you do. First is you do your current status value stream map. So currently, what have we done for the last slab? How long did it take? Or the last 3 slabs, if it's a lot of repeat process on that construction job. And you'll find that on construction jobs, on projects, there's a whole range of tasks that are repeated. So having it visually mapped out in a value stream map can highlight where potential problems are. And if, as I mentioned earlier, if you make the problem visible, then you have an attempt to try to reduce or minimize that problem or that waste in the system. And that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to minimize or reduce the waste in the system, make us more productive, and then that will lead to being meeting our customers' needs. So it still comes back to the whole ethos of what Lean is. We're trying to increase our portion of what we spend our time doing, and that's adding value. And we're trying to reduce and waste and minimize the non-added value activities. So your orders and bits like the paperwork, I suppose, in many cases, things required, RAMs, risk assessments, method statements, all important, but we'll try to kind of make them more efficient as we can. So just to recap, what is a value stream map? So a value stream map is a visual, so open a whiteboard of the processes that needs to be undertaken to complete a task. So you could maybe use the example concrete slab. Could be a lot of them in the project. So we have the right levels, right materials there, steel fixers, make sure that it has to be set out correctly first, then it has to be excavated down to the right level, Lee mix put in, a blinding put in, working area, steel delivered to the location, steel fixers and having the right information to steel fix the right steel, then the carpenters to come in behind it to fix that, shutters, then maybe pre-check pour to be signed off on, then concrete finishers come in, material has to be delivered, ordered, volume checked and delivered, make sure it's the right concrete grade. All these activities are falling in, then the concrete has to be properly cured, and maybe next day does it have to be saw cut, or is there any items that feed into this. So these are all the different tasks that go into making that concrete slab. And if you said, well, actually we have 35 concrete slabs in this job, the first 3 or 4, how efficient, how have we mapped it out, or how has it actually worked, and how can we improve on that for the next 30? That's kind of what we're looking at here from a value stream map. And then why use it? It makes problems visible or potential wastes visible. Okay, thank you very much.